Hi there, Leo. Welcome to an abundance reading for September 2024. This is a new deck that I have acquired. It's called the Muse Tarot. This is the cover of it, of the box. So I'll just put this right here. I don't like it showing up on the camera though. Okay. So this is a spread that I got from Emerald Lotus divination.com. So give credit where it's due. Just going to put out the cards in the order that they're supposed to be put out in. This is the back of the cards. And then I will read what each position stands for. This deck kind of relabels, if you will, the cards, so you may not recognize. Even I might have to go back to the book because I've only done a couple of these thus far, so I'm still learning about some of the different names that they have. Oh, let's see. This should be at the same level. I could put this like this, kind of like a horseshoe. Okay. Let's see here. So, no, the first one is down here. Your current relationship with allowing abundance into your life. 3 of Wands. Perfect for Leo people, because 3 of Wands is about expansion, and inspiration is Wands in this deck. So this is one of the reasons why they label it inspiration, because the Wands can be about enthusiasm, and even though that's not synonymous with inspiration, it has like a similar feeling that you get when you think of the word enthusiasm and inspiration. So this card, in terms of like how you feel about allowing abundance, some people are very fear-based, and for you it's more like of an adventure, like how far can it go, not just kind of this limited aspect of it. And one thing I wanted to say too is that we're having a new moon on the 2nd of September, which is, as I record this, is coming up just in a matter of a couple of days. And this is going to fall in your second house of earned income. So I thought, well, that would be a perfect sign to do next. And so the second card is how to get yourself in alignment. Well, it sounds like you don't need much help with that. The 10 of emotions is the 10 of cups. And actually, in Abraham Hicks material, when they talk about law of attraction, and this is in case I didn't really show you, this is the 10 of cups. In Abraham Hicks, they talk about get to a better feeling thought. And it's all about how you feel. It has nothing to do about these outer circumstances. I'm talking about their theory about how to manifest, is that you're feeling the way that you want to feel when you have what you manifest, and imagining how that will feel, and that is, going to magnetize abundance to you. And by the way, abundance, as you probably know, is not just cold hard cash or possessions. It's about having like a consistently joyful demeanor, being at peace in your life, having good health on a consistent basis. I say on a consistent basis because we can't expect to have that 24/7. I think that, and plus sometimes these emotions, or like even if somebody gets the flu, it's not the end of the world. I mean, they're making out to be these days that if you get anything, it's like, oh my gosh, you're gonna die. And of course, it's more serious for some people than others. But the point is that it's a purification. They call it an alternative medicine. They call it a healing crisis when you get sick, because it's a crisis inside of your body, but it's also healing it. It's purifying it, and that's where all those symptoms come from. So by looking at life as good and bad, that's simplistic. And even if you feel grief, there's a time for that. It's this idea that you're going to be happy every moment of every day. That's, to me, a bit psychotic. I mean, there are going to be times when we're angry, and we have to be able to learn how to channel these strong emotions in the most constructive way possible. But it doesn't guarantee that we're never going to feel sadness. We're never going to feel anger. The 10 of Cups, I'm going to call them by, the names that people are familiar with. The 10 of Cups is about family harmony. Like, it is a number. I think the number 10 is a number of the family, but it's like this happily ever after feeling. So it could be like, um to get yourself in alignment, you think about how much having more abundance in your life will help those around you, not just you. If you have a family of your own, or even if you want to help your parents, some adult children take great pleasure in providing their parents with things that their parents never had, because their parents struggled a lot financially when they were raising them. So, but it's also a number of, it's also the card of happily ever after. So it can feel like this sense of completion. Number 10 is completion emotionally, like you finally, it's like your harvest coming in, so to speak. Okay, the third position, which is on top here, is about integration. What do you have to integrate in order to have an enlightened perspective of abundance? What I take this to mean is that if somebody is just a pure crass materialist, and they're just trying to get as much money as possible, that's like the King of Pentacles reversed in the tarot, where everything has a price tag. Everything is about, like, even like how you see other people, how you value other people. Oh, they don't have any money, so I don't. So that kind of person, they're not truly abundant, because their whole value system is based on materialism. And as we know, that's like a temporary thing. So that's going to crash hard. A person like that will crash hard if something, threatens their financial status, which it could very easily do. People who think that everything is hunky-dory just because today they were able to take money out of the bank. I mean, right now, when I'm recording this, I'm like, whoa, like, what is going to happen? But at a higher level, I know that anything that does happen, even if it seems like catastrophic on the material level, it's going to have a cleansing effect. But it's not something that I hope, is going to occur at a massive level, because it would be very, very destabilizing, for the world at the ground level. The Temperance card is a card connected to Sagittarius. Oh, I didn't notice. You know what's interesting? I just noticed this. The sun is on the top above her crown chakra. I wish these decks would explain what their symbolism is all about. But anyway, and Leo is ruled by the sun. That's why I was kind of oohing and eyeing. But the Temperance card is about as above, so below, meaning that if we're talking about abundance, and we're not bringing the spiritual into it, and we're just being crass materialists, that is beyond foolish. And we can't really even appreciate abundance enough, because it's simply, when you live simply for material things, there's an emptiness, and not a good type of emptiness. There's an inherent emptiness there, and that is not sustaining. For instance, if you eat junk food a lot, there can be this sense of pleasure if it tastes good. I like organic, you know, cheese, puffs, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. But it's still junk food, and it's going to be devoid of nutrients, ultimately. But in that moment, it can feel really good. But it's not going to sustain you. Just like junk food doesn't sustain you physically, uh, materialism can't sustain you. It's kind of like if you just gorge on food, and it's like after a while, you can't experience the pleasure from it. Like, I'm talking about one session of it, because you'll throw up after a while. The material only has a limited amount of pleasure attached to it, because it's like finite in that sense. And the spiritual is boundless, it's endless. Just like our souls are endless, but our bodies are temporary. That should give you that dividing line. So if you bring the spiritual into this, if you look at, and even for your motivating factor, let's say that you want to be able to like be self-sufficient in some way, because you're tired of, like for instance, some people, they get land and they get tiny homes, and they do that thing, and they might live off the grid, because their ultimate value is freedom, and that brings them joy. Well, there's a spiritual component to that. It's not really about like, oh, I won't have to work again, I won't have any paychecks. It's really not about that, because Leos can be very hardworking, and you probably wouldn't want to stop working. But it's about feeling sovereign. And I always think of Leo when I think of the kings and the queens. But it's like kind of like a royalty of your soul, that your soul is noble, not just like what your socioeconomic level is in this world, or how much money you have in the bank, what your status, what kind of job you have, that kind of thing. So yeah, so that can be a great way to really integrate, when you receive money, to see it in a multifaceted way, not just this way of like, oh yeah, I'm going to have this, I'm going to have that. Current blessing you should be grateful for is the fourth card. And this I chalk up to gratitude. So in other words, this is so important. This is why I love this spread. Whoever created this spread, God bless you. You're a genius, because it's not just about, you know, getting abundance. It's about the process of it. And gratitude, I see it over and over again with these prosperity types of books and methods, is that you have to feel grateful for what you have. If you're just like angry that you have lack, that is, just show, it's like kind of spitting in the face of God or the universe and everything that has, come to you thus far. So this is the Queen of Emotions. This is the Queen of Cups. I would say for Leo, because this card, I do believe it's connected to Cancer, but I think somebody said Scorpio. It really doesn't matter, because both of those are water signs. This is double water. The Queen is a water, which makes sense, because water is feminine in astrology, and emotions are cups. Makes perfect sense. This card, the Queen of Cups, is connected to creativity, be it artistic creativity and children wise. Both of these things are connected to Leo via the house that you rule, the fifth house. Creativity, artistic creativity, and children. So whether you have kids, I haven't had, I won't have kids in this lifetime. I haven't had children. But I always felt a deep connection to children, and I always had a good rapport with children. And children, I always think about parents, and I think if you don't have a pot to piss in, if you have children, I would think that you would feel incredibly blessed and incredibly wealthy, because they are such a positive force in life to remind adults about living in the moment and being happy with what they have. Of course, some parents, I don't like the word spoil, but they train their child to, a lot of times it isn't having gratitude for what they have, and so then they're hungry ghosts like their parents. So anyway, be blessed for this, because I will say too, one of the seeds that was planted within myself was the issue of entrepreneurs being creative people, because I've always been creative, but I never saw having my own business. I never wanted to have my own business. And when I heard that entrepreneurs are creative people, it clicked and it all made sense. And I bet some of you have a business within yourself. It doesn't mean that you're going to quit your day job, but it could mean that there's something that you're meant to put out in the world, utilizing your talents. And you can nurture this, and you can be grateful for it, even if it hasn't come to fruition yet. It can be your baby. And if you have physical children, those are blessings from God, regardless of whatever else is going on in your life. What you should be investing your energy into to attract abundance into your life. Two of Voices is the Two of Swords. Now, this card, the Two of Swords, is actually a card of a person who is at the horns of a dilemma. So it's associated with indecision. So how can you invest your energy into indecision? Well, obviously, that's not the point. The point is this is what I would say. Either maybe you do need to make a decision, and you've kind of left yourself hanging, twisting in the wind about something. And I would say this is because the Leo's a fixed sign, so you tend to shy away from change. That's not your favorite thing in the world. So the point being that it's possible that you're going to have to make a decision, because once you do, it'll put you on a trajectory, on a new timeline, and then it will gain momentum. So whether it's a change of careers, that because maybe you're in a job, it doesn't have to be like a whole new, I was going to say maybe a change of employers, like you're not working at the same place, but maybe it's in the same line of work. For some people, it might be a different line of work, because you've been feeling drained wherever you are, and you feel stagnant. Maybe your wages are stagnant because you feel stagnant. For some people, it is going to be that your creative talents are not being put to use. Even if you're a teacher, and I think that there are some Leo people that gravitate towards teaching, especially because they want to work with children, and be that inspirational figure. But in some cases, you may be underutilized. Maybe you're overly regulated, and you need to be in a freer environment where you can plan, have your own lesson plans. There are so many possibilities. Can you tell that I have a background in education? That didn't actually materialize because in that form, because of that very issue. Even though I'm not a Leo, I have a stellium in the fifth house, and that is very important to me, to have autonomy and being able to um, do certain things. But that's what charter schools are for. Seriously, because then you can have more freedom to, like it was when I was growing up in the 70s. Teachers had so much more freedom to create their own lesson plans. But whatever it is, Leo, um, this may be a time when you need to kind of commit to something, and then who knows what will open up for you. All right. I hope that this served as some inspiration and a catalyst for you, Leo. And I hope you have a great new moon in Virgo. If you would like a private reading with me, I'm promoting my double astrological readings called my deep dive readings, an hour of natal chart analysis, an hour of transits for a special price. I have a version of that. It's a package deal, so that's why it's a special price, because I offer these readings separately. And I have one with the tarot. I have all three. Those two astrological readings in the tarot called the whole enchilada, which is a special price, and other types of readings, career, life path types, love. Please click on the link below for more information. I'm at rainamoonastrology.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.